Hello, and welcome to the Game Changer in your professional journey. Imagine if you can unlock a few extra hours in your day, not by working harder, but by working smarter. Today, I'm going to reveal to you the three simple time management strategies specifically tailored to you, passionate coaches, course creators, and dedicated online service providers out there. Ready to get more done, earn more income, and still have time to enjoy your life? Well, then let's dive into these transformative strategies to turn your time into your ally, not your obstacle. Welcome to a world where efficiency meets success. Well, hello there, and a very warm welcome to everyone tuning in. My name is Shannon Martel, and I'm absolutely delighted to have you here for our management mastery training. A little about me: I am a business coach and an online course creator, and I'm also the founder of Visionary Edge Ventures. I specialize in helping coaches, course creators, and online service providers like you to effortlessly turn your expertise into profitable and sustainable online courses and coaching programs with ease. Now, before we dive into these powerful strategies and insights that I have in store for you today, I have a couple of quick announcements that I want to go ahead and share with you. If you find value in this training, please go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe. Or if you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. This ensures that you will not miss out on valuable content designed to help you in your coaching and online course creation business. Also, I'm thrilled to announce that I have a special gift to everyone that stays to the end. It's the Time Management Mastery Action Guide. This is a valuable resource for yours that is free today for helping you to be able to implement the strategies discussed in today's session. So you'll be able to find that link linked below in the description box wherever you're tuning in to watch this training. And furthermore, I want to invite you to join my free Facebook community, the Course Creator Collective. This is an incredible, vibrant space where you can learn how to start your coaching business, attract paying clients, and get connected with a community of like-minded individuals just like you. The link to join the Facebook community is also going to be linked in the description box below, and we would love to see you join our community and join in all of the fun. So today we're going to be discussing on any vital skill. We're going to be focusing on any vital skill for any entrepreneur, and that's time management. Whether you're at the beginning of your journey or you're just looking into establishing incredible success, you're in the right place. So let's get started with unlocking your time potential, time management potential, shall we? So let's go ahead and dive in. Do you ever find yourself at the end of the day wondering exactly what you've accomplished? Does this happen to you consistently? If the answer is yes, you're not alone. Coaches, course creators, online service providers, and others who are self employed struggle with this feeling all the time. Ask me how I know. This used to be me. It can seem like an amazing feat to finish the day knowing that you were productive. But for most of us, it never feels like we have enough hours in the day. But the reality is that you do have the time that you need. It's just being taken up by non essential tasks that are overburdening you and getting in the way of what's important. So, whether you're spinning your wheels in this way or even at your best efforts, you don't get closer to your goals. It feels like you're running in place on a treadmill all the time. No matter how hard you push yourself, you're never going to go anywhere if you continue that. If you work by yourself, you especially cannot afford to throw any precious minutes away in your day. So rather than like trying to focus on more time, you need to better manage the time that you already have. So that's what we're going to be talking about in today's training. The key to thinking of these strategies is the three P's. And in the three P's, that follows a step-by-step order. And in the steps that we're going to discuss today, the order that we're going to go through them is number one, prioritizing. So we're going to be looking very in depth at what it is that's on your to-do list, how to flesh out your to-do list, and then how to plan those particular tasks that you have on your to-do list and schedule them accordingly so that you can actually produce and get the results that you desire in your coaching and online course business. In short, this course or this masterclass that we're going to be going through today, you're going to be learning the best practices for each of these steps and how to implement them effectively. You're going to be learning the 3 Ps of time management every day, and you're going to experience a huge boost in your productivity. You're going to get off that time treadmill that goes nowhere, and you're going to jump into a clear path to achieving your goals. So if that's something you're excited about, go ahead and drop a hell yes or a thumbs up or a heart or whatever lights your boat. And we're going to get started to dive into this for you. Just a reminder, as we're going along in today's training, no matter where you're tuning in from, whether you're in our Facebook community, the Course Creator Collective, or you're tuning in from YouTube, or any of my other places that this is going to be repurposed, go ahead and drop your questions below. I will be checking those as we go through the training to make sure that I am answering all of those for you. So if you're stuck at all or you're confused about something that I've said, feel free to go ahead and drop those, and we'll be checking in as we go along to make sure that we have all of your questions and concerns fleshed out here live in the training or on the replay if you're catching this on replay. You can go ahead and give me a hashtag live or a hashtag replay to let me know where you're tuning in from. I always like to know where my guests are tuning in from, so we can just really, it's exciting to see where in the world you're located. I am in sunny Florida, so you can, if you're ever here in Florida, let me know, and maybe we can catch up and grab a coffee or something. But that's where I'm at, and I would love to know where you're tuning in from. As well, go ahead and let us know where we can find you on socials. So if you have a Facebook group that you want us to connect and collaborate in, go ahead and drop that. Or if we can find you on Instagram, go ahead and drop your Instagram handle below as well so we can follow you over there. All right, so action steps. The first thing that we're going to be doing here is start by clarifying your business goals. So what I want you to do here is to review your current business goals and write them down in your action guide. Again, I will drop the link to the action guide in the description box below. So if you haven't gone ahead and grabbed that, you can go ahead and grab that and print that out. And as you're going through watching this either live or on the replay, you can go back through and answer some of these questions. But the first thing that is really helpful is to just get all of that stuff out of your mind. We hold so much as business owners up in our head, and that can lead to a lot of anxiety and overwhelm. So it's really important to just flush it all out. So I want you to just pull out a piece of paper. I want you to identify what your goals are, and then I want you to set up specific milestones and deadlines for each of those goals. There's a saying, if we plan to fail, we fail to plan. Or if we fail to plan, we plan to fail. So it's really important to not only flesh out all of the particular tasks that we have, but we want to flesh out what the deadlines for each goal is, because there's another saying that they say too, is like, a task takes you as long as you allow yourself to have to get it done. So if you give yourself a week to get something done, it's going to take you a week, if not longer, to get it done. If you give yourself a day to get something done, you're more likely to get that particular task or project done in that particular day. So, the old analogy as well, like, getting ready to go on vacation, raise your hand if this is you, but how many of you, when you're going into vacation mode, can get a ton of stuff done in a short period of time because you have a deadline, right? So make sure that you do give yourself that time and giving yourself a deadline. And the second step of this particular piece is look at what current time management issues you're facing. So we really need to understand what those problems are that are getting in the way, like understanding what areas you're wasting time on, where are you chasing shiny objects? Maybe, for an example, would be that you are doing some market research online, perhaps, and then you start kind of diving into other people's content and getting into, looking at other, the way people are organizing their content or their funnels and things like that. And then you've kind of gone in this like shiny strategy syndrome, is what I call it. You've kind of gone down that rabbit hole of like, oh, squirrel brain, because you've gotten sidetracked. why you think these things are an issue. So another thing that can be sneaky, especially as entrepreneurs working from home, is, going and stopping to do the dishes or throwing in a load of laundry, or perhaps you are, taking the dog out. These are things I know in my household that I do every single day, but it can definitely be things that, you feel like you're being productive and you're getting things done, but what are you avoiding? That's where the big question here is, what are you avoiding and why do you think that this is happening? So highlight these issues and what you want to focus on resolving as you go through this course, and we will be diving into those. So step one, we are going to look at prioritizing these particular tasks. As a coach or course creator, one of the most significant challenges you're going to face in managing the ton of tasks that come along with running an educational business. You've got content creation, marketing, client interactions, administrative duties. The list seems endless. And this is where the power of prioritization becomes not just useful, but it is essential. But the problem comes when you might often find yourself overwhelmed with the sheer volume of tasks. You might be feeling like you're pulled in multiple different directions without effective priority system in place. It's easy to lose sight of what truly drives your business forward. You might end up spending time on tasks that are less impactful, while your key objectives take a back seat. So it's really important that we really look at what we're doing, when we're doing it, and how we're doing it. And this is where prioritization really comes into play, because it's about identifying the tasks that have the highest impact on your goals. And what I refer to these with my students inside my paid programs are these key revenue generating activities. And these are essentially the activities that are going to drive your business forward and help you connect most effectively with your audience. So by focusing first on these high impact revenue generating activities, you're going to ensure that your energy, your efforts, like your actions, are all aligned with your most critical business objectives. So in this section, we're going to be exploring how to effectively prioritize these tasks using proven methods. And these techniques are going to help you focus on really what matters, reduce the feeling of being overwhelmed, and increase your productivity and satisfaction as an online coach or course creator. So let's go ahead and dive into this and learn how you can really master the art of prioritization to transform not just your workday, but the trajectory. I can't even say these words. Trajectory, the growth of your business. That's where I'm going with that. So learning how to properly prioritize is the number one way to boost your productivity tenfold. We all know how to make a to-do list, but just making this to-do list isn't enough. Like, I don't know about you, but I can look back over the years and find notebooks full of to-do lists, but that didn't necessarily mean all of the activities on that to-do list got done. So you need to figure out which items are essential and which aren't important at all. You're going to start by making a list of everything that you have to do today. Don't worry about the priority levels at this point. I just want you to really flush out everything that's in your brain. List all of the things that you need to do so you can really free up space to get it out of your head onto paper and to be able to really prioritize what the essentials tasks are that need to be done. So for an example, as an online coach or course creator, some of the tasks that you may need to do in a normal workday may be responding to client emails, preparing content for your next week's webinar, reviewing and updating your website content, checking in with your marketing team if you do have a team that you're outsourcing content to, maybe attending a networking event online or in person. Could be updating your social media profiles, scheduling coaching sessions for next month, paying invoices, doing some related industry related news, like reading up on that, or maybe it's working on some course content if you're one of my students in my program called the Serve, or if you're in another particular coaching program, maybe looking at doing some of those activities. So then I want you, after you've done this brain dump and just essentially flushed it all out, and also, you want to make sure that you're flushing out what you need, excuse me. You also want to brain dump those things that are on your personal to-do list as well. So the system is not only effective for your business, but it helps you also to manage your personal life as a mom, as a significant other, as running a household, taking care of your pets, all of the things. As humans, we have a lot on our plate, so it's important to make sure that you're brain dumping all of those particular activities, and especially during particular different seasons of the year, those activities are also going to look a little different than when it's not holiday time and so forth. So I want you to look at how many items you have. If you've got more than 7 or 8, you need to really trim your list. So I want you to take out any particular tasks that you do every day, like checking email. You can also take out anything that would happen regardless, such as a phone call that you're expecting. So I want you to look at your list and ask yourself, if I was just to do one thing today, accomplish one thing, the definition of done, understand what that is. Um, maybe working on content, is that necessarily the definition of done, or is it publishing a piece of content is the definition of done? That's a hack that will really help you as well be really productive. So asking yourself, what's that one thing that if I were only to do one thing today, what should that be? And put that at the top of the list. So we're going to be moving into looking at the Eisenhower matrix. And this is where we're really identifying what the most urgent and important things are to do each day. And I like to do as well, like my top 3 things. So looking at what's urgent and important, this is what you're going to want to do first. So perhaps on your list of items that we've already looked at, perhaps your urgent and important item number 1 is responding to client emails, because timely communication is crucial with your clients, and you want to make sure that you're taking care of your paid clients first. Secondly, it might be like looking at preparing content for next week's webinar because you have an upcoming deadline for something like that. So you want to look at, really, really getting clear on what those priority items are. The third thing may be where you're looking at scheduling your coaching sessions for next month, because that's essential for your business continuity and your continued growth. So really looking at that, making sure that you understand, what's important to do first, and then prioritizing that. So I want you to look back at your list, go look at the items on your list and repeat this over and over. And eventually you're going to end up with a list of things that you need to do in an order of importance. So one way to prioritize without getting bogged down in unnecessary tasks is to consider the direct result each task will have on your business, and then which will directly or indirectly impact your income goals. So again, like these are your highest impact tasks, which should be your highest priority. So what's going to move the needle? What's a revenue generating activity? What's going to help you look at generating more traffic to your website or to your social media profiles? What's going to generate more leads, whether you're trying to grow your social media profiles or you're trying to grow your email list? What's going to generate more sales? Really looking at those 3 components in an online coaching business or course creation business is really crucial for your continued growth and success. Moving to the next slide, kind of tips for refining your to-do list. We've covered the simplest method for arranging your daily tasks, but sometimes that isn't just enough. So we're going to go over some additional tips for further refining your list. So kind of, again, we've talked about like number 1, like looking at your list itself, really brain dumping all of that information and all those to-dos, personally and professionally, flushing those out and getting on, whether it's on paper, it's a Google Doc, it's a notes app in your phone, just getting out of your head onto paper so you can really take a critical analytical look at those particular items. And we've gone through and we're going to be talking about ranking those items in more depth, utilizing the Eisenhower matrix. We're going to be talking about setting deadlines for everything. We're going to talk about how to categorize it by work area and then how to break up the big task. Move on to the next slide. So when we're talking about tips for refining your to-do list, we want to go ahead and continue to rank those items and create essentially a scoring system that's going to be ranking them and looking at making sure that we have deadlines for particular tasks. Because again, like the longer we allow ourselves to be able to get a particular task done, the longer it actually takes you to get it done. So you want to look at a scoring system. For an example, you could do scoring system like 1 to 3. It could be 1 being it needs to be done today, 2 it should be done today, 3 it doesn't need to be done today. It's still important, but it doesn't need to be done today. And then plug your items into these categories and then prioritize them within each category. And then setting deadlines for everything. Again, setting a deadline for everything you do is super important, even if there really isn't true time pressure, meaning like you don't have a tangible deliverable, due to a client perhaps. You want to make sure that you have a specific deadline, not necessarily just for the day, but also the time of day. So is this task something that you want to get completed in the morning? Is it, something you want to complete in the afternoon? Know when you want to get it done and know when your energy levels are the most adequate for being able to complete this task is really helpful as well. Then I also like to really go deeper into really understanding and ranking them by importance by looking at a powerful tool called the Eisenhower matrix. And this technique is not only going to help you identify what's important and what's urgent in your business, but it's also going to help you understand different categories as far as like what to do first, what to schedule, what to delegate, and what to eliminate. So really placing your task in these categories, you can visually see where to focus your energies. So to kind of give you the definition of the urgent and most important, that is a first category. If you're kind of looking at 4 squares in a quadrant, you've got two in the top, like a left and a right, and 2 in the bottom, you've got a left and a right. So it's 4 quadrants. You're going to, in the upper left quadrant, that would be due first. So that's going to have the tasks that have immediate deadlines and significant consequences. For example, if you have a deadline that is due for a client to, maybe it's to release a particular course module, or it is to have a coaching call with a client, there's going to be significant issues with not achieving that goal. So it's going to have client impact and so forth. So you want to make sure that you're doing that task first. The second category is urgent, not important, or not urgent. Sorry, important, not urgent. So this is something you're going to schedule. So these are tasks that contribute to the long-term growth of the missions and goals for your business, but they don't necessarily have immediate deadlines. Urgent, not important is going to be that second quadrant, the bottom left quadrant, and that is where these tasks are urgent but not important, so you can delegate them. So these are tasks that require more immediate attention but don't necessarily drive your business goals forward. So that could be something like, I don't even know, like what comes to mind first is sweeping your porch. Like maybe you need to sweep your porch because it's something important, and and on a personal level, and making sure that the house looks tidy, and maybe have guests coming over, but it's not urgent, right? It's not important for the growth and success of your business. So maybe that's something that you can delegate out to another member of your household, right? So looking at that, or maybe it is something that from a business perspective, maybe you have lead generation that, could be having a community manager in your Facebook group that helps you to answer questions and welcome in new members and things like that. It's not, it's urgent, but it's not important to the growth and success of your business today, but it is something that needs to be done. But it doesn't necessarily have to be done by you. So that's something you could look at delegating. And then urgent, not important, this is the task that we can eliminate. So these are the activities that could offer little to no value and can be eliminated. So it's really important to look at, and this is where it's, really analyzing the activities in your business and completing month-end reviews is really important, because if you don't track it and analyze it and measure what is working and what is not going to work or isn't working in your business, you may be spinning your wheels and continuing to do tasks on a regular basis that aren't driving the revenue in your business. So you want to make sure that you are implementing a practice for that as well, to do that month-end review and seeing what's working, what's not working, and what you can eliminate. So the tip for this is, once you've gone through and kind of flushed all of your, say you had maybe 8 to 10 particular to-dos on your task list for today, you flush them out through the Eisen matrix, or put them through the Eisenhower matrix to determine what's urgent, not urgent, what's important, not important. And then you can identify your top 3 most important tasks of the day. So again, you're going to list all of your tasks, write down everything that's on your plate, no matter how big or small. The second step is applying the Eisenhower matrix, or the 1, 2, 3, just to really understand, what the priorities are for each of the particular tasks, flush them out in the quadrants. And then I want you to focus on what's most important and urgent. So your most important tasks likely fall into this quadrant. These are the tasks that are going to directly or indirectly impact your income and your goals for your business. And then I want you to evaluate and select. So from the important and urgent quadrant, select the top 3 tasks on their potential impact to your business. These become your top 3 priorities for the day. So if you got nothing else done, focusing on achieving these 3, again, know your definition of done, getting these 3 things done today, or at least, 3 things done for the week, that's your mission, right? And then plan your approach to how you're going to tackle these most important tasks. They should take precedence in your daily planning. So I want you to remember here that effective prioritization is about making intentional choices. That's not just like what my mood is right now. In fact, our mood doesn't really get us anywhere, like in taking inspired action, yes, but you want to make sure that you're really clear and you're focused on taking action on the most important tasks that are going to drive your revenue and achieve your goals. Because oftentimes some of these most important tasks are things that are the biggest and scariest and require more energy, and those can be the particular tasks that you self-sabotage on the most if you don't really make sure that you're focusing on the right things. So go ahead and do that, and kind of start flushing that out. The next step is to categorize by work areas. So some people categorize by work related or personal tasks. Kind of what I mentioned that a little bit earlier with flushing out, like, what do you need to do from a personal level and what do you need to do from a professional level? And then you can focus on one list at work and then one after work. You can also break it down into smaller areas of work. So, for example, I like to build in active breaks into my schedule. I follow the Pomodoro techniques, and this is where you basically work 4 25-minute sprints, and then you have a 5-minute break. They have cube timers you can order from Amazon, or they have Pomodoro timers that you can pull up on your computer that can track you, or even on your phone. You can do it on your phone too. But it's where you do that, and then you take 5 minutes for like a break. And I like to have an active breaks because it really helps to boost my energy as well. So, and get you walking around and not just sitting at your desk at the computer the whole time. So kind of having those personal items listed there for you can help you to quickly identify, like maybe you can, run a quick load of laundry or something while you're taking that active break. So not only did you get moving, but you're also being able to accomplish a personal task around the house. And then you're going to categorize by time. So if you have different tasks to complete in the morning versus the afternoon, you can create categories by time of day or like small to-do lists for each part of that particular day. So an effective way to boost the efficiency in managing your to-do list is to make sure that you are categorizing this, because this approach can really help you in creating a clear structure, helps you to maintain an easier focus, and then transition smoothly into different types of work. So I want to give you a practical example of ways that you can really categorize your task by work areas and by time. So kind of categorizing by work areas, if you think about like your work related versus your personal task, you can separate your professional and your personal task on your list. And this allows you to concentrate fully on what's a work related task and doing those in your work hours, and then switch to what's a personal task and being able to do those afterward, or again, like on your lunch break, or those active breaks, like I mentioned earlier. You can kind of intermingle those and just finding a balance that works for you. But then I want you to break those tasks down into smaller work areas. So within your work, I want you to categorize tasks based on specific areas. And it's kind of like thinking of like time blocking and task blocking. So in the particular chunk of time, maybe you're doing 3 90-minute sprints of work during a day, you can look at that one particular time block area for things such as like client outreach, for content creation, for administrative duties, or other marketing areas. In this method, what it's going to allow you to do is allow you to, one, dedicate time blocks to each particular area. It's going to reduce that task switching fatigue as you deal with similar tasks in one go. So an example of what this would look like in your day is maybe in the morning you have that time block out for content creation. So that's a really good time, especially if you're a morning person and getting into that creative brain. I'd like to be a creator in the morning and a manager in the afternoon. So in the morning, you're looking at writing your content, creating your videos, doing editing. Maybe midday is where you are working kind of on some of those administrative tasks. So maybe it's like your email or your scheduling of your content or scheduling for client calls and such. In the afternoon, this could be focused and reserved for working with your clients or working with your outreach efforts. So maybe this looks like taking calls. Maybe it's doing outreach in the DMs and following up with all of your leads that have opted in to your lead generation resources. By categorizing your time, like looking at morning versus afternoon tasks, some of these tasks are better suited for certain times of the day. For instance, like I said, I like to be a creative in the morning and a manager in the afternoon, because maybe you feel more creative. Creativity can sometimes take a lot more energy, and if you're more energetic in the morning, that can work really well for you. Versus in the afternoon, maybe you kind of have that analytical hat on, and you can really go through all of those administrative tasks and decision-making tasks in the afternoon. You can look at having these time-based to-do lists, so creating smaller to-do lists for different parts of the day. This can be particularly effective for your energy levels throughout the day as well. So an example would be, like, again, in the morning, having these creative high energy tasks. In the afternoon could be more for like following up on meetings and follow-ups and lower energy tasks. Kind of thinking about like your energy as like what would be like a well comes to mind. Like you have a bucket, right? And when you go to sleep, your bucket is filled to the top, hopefully to the top with energy from your sleep. And then as you go throughout your day and you complete tasks, this bucket starts to drain, and the levels in the bucket get lower and lower. That's what your energy levels are like. So thinking of when your bucket is full, your cup is full, you have a lot more energy. What for you, and this is going to be individual for each particular coach or online course creator, your energies look different. So it's important to kind of pair your high energy task with when you have the most energy and vice versa. In the evening, this is when you can plan for the next day. You can do some light admin work. Maybe you are following up with your communities on social media, your Facebook group, and so forth. So you just want to allow yourself to be able to experiment and adjust. Try these I can't even say it, categorize methods and observe the combinations that work for you. It might take some experimentation to find what the right balance is, but I just encourage you to be flexible. Some days it might require you to deviate from your planned activities and the way you've categorized everything. But I just want you to stay adaptable and adjust your list as needed. And just know that this is your schedule. You are the creator of this. You get to manage your time and your work areas and be able to create a more manageable approach for your daily workload. Because it's not only going through this, it not only boosts your productivity, but it helps you maintain mental clarity and focus throughout your day. So it's super, super and powerful to be able to do this. The next step is for you to break up big tasks. So for anything that takes longer than a day, I want you to break it up into daily milestones and then put these into your to-do list. So remembering that a goal is to have a simple plan that works for you, whichever method helps you to prioritize, but the goal is to make it easier for you. So breaking up big tasks into smaller, more manageable milestones can significantly help improve your efficiency, can help you reduce overwhelm. So let me give you an example of what this may look like as a business coach or online course creator. So one of the tasks as a coach or online course creator could be creating a new online course, right? So in of that particular task, or it's not a task, by the way, it's a project. It is a project which has many, many tasks within that. But it's really important for you to break this down into bite-sized chunks and bite-sized tasks, as well as milestones to help you, one, know that you're achieving your goal and that you are on track to being able to achieve your goal in the time frame that you have aligned it to be scheduled within. So what I mean by that is when you look at creating a course, knowing like there are several things that have to be done in creating a new online course. And one of the ways that you could break that down is look at like in week one, what do you need to do when you start creating an online course? And if you haven't already grabbed my ultimate course creation guide, go ahead and grab that too. And I'll remember to link those down in the comments below as well. But this will help you with really step one or week one is in research and planning. So how do you further break down that? What does that even mean? First of all, like if you can't fully explain to me like what that means, and I do this with myself all the time, I'm like, do I really understand what research and planning means? Like, and asking yourself that question first. Like, if I were to try to show someone else this, would I clearly be able to understand what is involved in that? That's really key. So grab my ultimate course creation planner to help you with that. The day one could look like, in breaking your milestones down, is defining the course objectives and outcomes. Day two could look like conducting research on advanced coaching techniques. Day three could look like outlining your course module on key topics. Day four could be surveying the audience for input on specific interest. And day five could be finalizing your course outline and module descriptions. So see what I mean by really breaking down that big overarching bucket, the big overarching project is create, excuse me real quick. The big overarching task example is creating that new online course, but we've broken it down into what milestones we can reach each week, and then what milestones and tasks we can complete each day. So this will allow you to know that as long as you're continuing to take that step by step by step action, that by the end of the 4 weeks, you will be able to launch an online course. So again, like looking at week one is the research and planning. Week two, you would dive into content creation. So you would break down, if you have a 5-day work week, you would break down a task for each day that will help you to be able to achieve the definition of done of content creation. Week three would be looking at continuing content creation and beginning your marketing efforts. So maybe you're diving into the next modules. And then week four would be the finalization and launch preparation. So kind of looking at what final edits you need to make, testing your course to make sure that the learning management system that you've uploaded your course to, or if you're using a Facebook group to host your course in, that everything is loaded, it's working properly, flush out any tech issues you may have, and so forth. You kind of get the gist there. But the idea here is that you want to break up these big tasks into bite-sized pieces that are manageable and doable for you to be able to accomplish in the set given time that you've allocated for that. So ideally, you should have 3 to 5 tasks on your daily to-do list. Again, we've talked about the most important task being the 1 to 3 particular tasks. And then this allows you to break the habit of thinking you need to do everything. Be ruthless about throwing out tasks that aren't essential right now. So what do you do with those items that you put on the back burner? If your back burner tasks can't be thrown out, or they can't be delegated, then I want you to try one of the following tactics. So let me kind of give you an example, a practical example of what this looks like. So this is for somebody that is like a coach or an online course creator, and how you handle those particular back burner tasks. So let's say on a typical work day, your prioritized task looks like maybe number one, you're preparing and conducting a coaching session. So this is a revenue generating activity, and it's part of your service that you offer with your clients. So it's really important for you to be able to do that. Number two is that you are outlining your next module for your online course. And obviously that's a crucial step in your course development process and also a revenue generating task. Number three is responding to high priority emails. So you want to make sure that you're really addressing any client inquiries that you've had or any potential business opportunities from leads that have reached out to you, whether it's in your email or it's in your notifications in your inbox on your social media platforms. 4 could be reviewing and approving marketing content, as that's essential for your ongoing promotional activities. 5 could be networking with industry peers, where you maybe have some short scheduled interactions, either online or in person. But by focusing on these key tasks, you're going to know that these are aligned with your most immediate and impactful business goals. So let's look at the part where, how do we manage these back burner tasks? So for any tasks that aren't considered, when we've gone through that Eisenhower matrix, we've considered that they're not urgent or critical, but they still need some attention eventually. Some tactics that you could utilize or implement into your business would be 1, to delegate. So if you have a team that you can afford outsourcing, maybe you're outsourcing some creative task on Creative Market or on Fiverr, you delegate tasks that don't require your direct involvement. For instance, this could look like social media management, could be administrative work, where you can often handle other tasks over to other people in your business. You can schedule it for later, so you can allocate specific times in the future for less important tasks. For example, setting an hour aside later in the week for researching or non-urgent reading that ensures these tasks get done without interrupting your daily priorities. So, another one is like really getting bogged down in your online learning. You can schedule that in to where you are, really prioritizing your online learning, but it isn't taking priority over a revenue generating task that really drives revenue in your business. And you can reevaluate regularly. So I skipped one. So incorporate into bigger projects. So some back burner tasks might be components of larger projects. So for instance, updating course content can be part of a broader course revision project scheduled for later in the next quarter, which is really important to go back and make sure that your content is your responsibility as an online coach or course creator is that your content is relevant and it's up to date. So it's not just kind of a one and done and leave it and forget it. You want to make sure that you're routinely going through and you have that as a task or a project in your business that you're going through and updating your courses and making sure all of your content stays fresh and relevant for your audience. And then you want to reevaluate that regularly to kind of see what's on that back burner list. Sometimes you'll find that tasks that seemed important earlier may not be relevant anymore, or they're not as important, and maybe you can push them further down the line, or maybe you can delete them altogether. And then utilize your downtime. So for those, like I kind of talked about my energetic breaks. So when you do have downtime, instead of like using those periods for like total rest, you can listen to an educational podcast or listen to some of your course content. As or exercising can be a way to kind of like consume some of that information. Maybe it's while you're commuting, like you're while you're driving, you're listening. So to some of those podcasts or course content that you want to get through while you're doing like another what you would be considering downtime. So then I want you to choose a day and a time when you're going to take care of each of these items. So set aside some time during the day when you can go over these less important things, such as again, like at the end of the workday when you're still at your desk or your computer. Try to leave work at work, even though you're home. Try to schedule some regular work hour time so you're not just continuing to drag these on. If you for instance, your hours are 10 to 6, try to wrap things up by 6 o'clock so these items aren't continuing to drag on and you give yourself a break and have some time to spend with your family. And then delegate these tasks to someone else who can carry them out for you. So again, we've kind of talked about some different things, whether it's social media management or content creation or community management. Maybe these are some of the things that you can delegate in your business. Or if it's things like around the household, maybe you have a significant other or a child or the service provider that can take care of some of these other tasks that are important, but they're not urgent for you to get done or necessarily have your hands on them. And then a bonus tip I wanted to provide to you is just kind of keeping in mind that as coaches and course creators, service providers, we often talk about time management. There's another very critical component that deserves our attention, and it's energy management. And this is especially vital to you if, like me, you're on the journey of recovery from burnout or chronic illness. Balancing our energy is key to sustaining our health and ensuring that our business thrives. Because let's face it, if you don't feel good, it's going to come across. You're not going to be able to show up with the right energy, mindset, or maybe not even show up at all if you're really feeling lousy. So it's important to really understand these energy levels, when you work best and how you work best. So identify your peak hours. Start with that. Like we all have certain times of the day when we feel most energetic and productive. Recognize these periods and schedule your most demanding task during these windows. So for me, again, like I'm a morning person. I also like to get a walk in with my dog in the morning. And that really, really helps to boost my mood, boost my energy levels, like the fresh air, the sunshine, all of the things. So I know that that's the time my creativity peak is going to be at its highest. That's a really, really good time for me to tackle creative projects or projects that are going to take a lot of energy for me. And then also, and the flip side is recognizing your low energy, because it means you're not going to be as productive. So during these periods, you want to know that like this is something you want to use this your lower energy bucket time for things that are like considered lighter tasks or that require less mental exertion. So these could be like administrative tasks, like maybe it's responding to email or planning or scheduling content on social media or setting up your email campaigns and such. And then let's talk about like strategies for energy preservation. So you want to make sure that you're setting realistic goals. So if you do have a chronic health condition, I want you to be very mindful of your current health and energy levels. I want you to set achievable goals and not push yourself to the brink of exhaustion. Like really take care of your body first so it can take care of you. Again, like taking regular breaks is important. So using the Pomodoro technique, like I mentioned before, where you have 25 minutes of focused work followed by a 5-minute break is really, really helpful. Helps you to get up, get moving, get your blood flow going, and keeps you from getting like sore from sitting for so long. And then mindful task allocation. So really looking at aligning those tasks with pairing them with your energy levels. So high energy task like creative work or coaching sessions, going live, put those at your higher energy level periods, where the low energy tasks like the passive activities like researching or reading or even listening to some of your course modules, that could be done when you have the lower energy. And then make sure that you're planning in time for recovery and self-care. So really listening to your body, acknowledging the signs of fatigue, taking proactive steps to rest, or those active breaks are good to really be good energizers for you. But remember, taking time to recover is not a setback, but it's crucial and part of maintaining long-term productivity. So honor your body, honor your energy, honor your business, honor your goals. And then incorporate relaxation practices. So, look at some of those things, whether you're doing meditation. I like to start my day with meditation every day, really getting your mindset right. Light exercise, this could be walking, yoga, swimming, or even hobbies that you enjoy can be really helpful. And then again, if you're really dealing with long-term chronic illness or burnout, getting some professional guidance from healthcare providers might be an invaluable thing for you. But I just want you to remember that, managing your energy wisely is important for managing your time. The two go hand in hand. They're not exclusive from one another. And being attuned to these energy levels and respecting your body's needs can really help you to achieve sustainable balance that supports both your health and your business goals. So the action steps that you're going to implement after this first portion of this 3-part series is step 1, you're going to go ahead and create your to-do list, either in your action guide or your tool of choice. Like again, like you can use paper, you can use a planner, you can use a digital notebook like Evernote, you can use the note sections in your app on your phone. But I want you to start with a full list, really flushing it all out. And then identifying if you could choose one thing you're going to do today, like doing this step. If you could just do one, I want you to go ahead and identify what that one most important task is. And then keep flushing that out and repeating it with the same process, like going through each particular item on the list, identifying what those priority items are. You can, again, use the Eisenhower matrix to go through and understand what's urgent and important, what's urgent but not important, and then looking at like what you can be delegated, what can be eliminated, and then look at your list and ask yourself, what will bring you in the greatest income with the least effort, and move this up to on the top of the list. So really understanding is crucial, understanding what your most important tasks are, what the revenue generating activities are on your task, and making sure that if nothing else gets done today, that you do those things first. If nothing else gets done today, I commit to following up with my leads that have reached out, maybe to book a call with me. If nothing else gets done today, I'm going to connect with my clients and get my client calls wrapped up and out of the way. So making sure that you're doing that, or maybe it's working on that creative project where you're working on your webinar, your masterclass, or a course module. And then I want you to go through your list again, look for items that you can remove or delegate, and really start flushing those out. We're going to be moving in, again, this is a 3-part series. I realize this is getting kind of long at this point. So this, we will have 3 different modules to go with this. So the second step that we're going to be looking at next is how to plan. So now that we have prioritized that to-do list, the next step that we're going to go through is creating the time to plan out how you're going to complete each of these tasks in the most efficient and effective way possible with a little fun. I like to make sure that everything that I'm doing is an enjoyable process as possible. So we're going to be diving into how to not only be effective, be efficient, really maximizing your time so you can get more done, you can earn more income in the least amount of time, but I want you to be able to enjoy it as much as possible too. So we'll be diving into that, into the next step of this 3-part series. And then after we go through that, the next section we're going to go through is how to produce. So once we've set ourselves up for success, it's time to execute on your plans and produce results. So we'll be diving into that in the 3rd module of this 3-part course. So I hope that you have found that helpful. I just realized I didn't put the slides for you. So we'll be going through this, the plan part first is step 2. And then we will be going through, let's see what slide is it. We will be going through somewhere. Slide 38. We'll be going through the produce. So again, like now that we've set ourselves up for success, it's time to execute on those plans and get those results. So we want to get more done, we want to generate more income, and we want to get all of this done in less time. And you'll find that when you are strategic, when you're mindful, when you're really prioritizing what's important, what's not important, what you can delegate, what you can eliminate, then you are going to have so much less overwhelm in your day-to-day life, and you're going to get so much more done because you're focusing on the most important tasks, the revenue generating activities, and doesn't mean you're not doing the other things, but you're more mindful and intentional about what you're doing and when you're doing it, and you're not having these like time stealers that kind of come in and steal your time because we tend to procrastinate when we are avoiding getting some things done. So the other thing is I want you to go away. If you haven't joined the Course Creator Collective, go ahead and join the Course Creator Collective, and then you can go ahead and post your homework in there. So if you want some feedback on that list, or you want some feedback on helping to prioritize, another tool I like to use in my business to kind of help me flesh out is using ChatGPT. So if that's something you would like some more additional training on how to use ChatGPT to help you really organize this list and to help you really flesh out using the Eisenhower matrix, what those priorities are, and then identifying what your top revenue generating activities are, and helping you then put it into a plan, which helps you to really maximize the most efficient hours of your day. I do have a process that I utilize in ChatGPT to help me really understand, because a lot of times, like you think you can do it all, but then when you go through, you really put this system into place and you see it on paper and you see how it aligns with time, and you realize, oh, well, wait, maybe that's why I'm not getting all of the things done that I have in my brain that I was going to be done, because there's just not enough hours in one day. It doesn't mean there's not enough hours, but not particularly in one day. So it's really distilling down the things that are really important. So I just want to commend you for showing up today, for sticking through and taking this first significant step towards transforming your approach to time management. Remember, the journey of mastering time efficiency is ongoing, and the strategies that we've been discussing today are just the beginning. So I truly believe that with the insights and tools that you've gained from this training so far, you're now better equipped to prioritize, plan, and produce more efficiently and effectively which is going to lead to greater productivity and success in your role as a coach and a course creator. But this doesn't have to be the end. I hope I plan to come up to participate in session 2 and session 3. Be on the lookout for the details for that. But I also invite you to join me in Call to Serve. It's my signature course launch system. In this comprehensive program, it's designed to guide you every step of the way in creating and scaling your online courses and coaching programs. And this was just a taste of what we cover in the program, because not only are there a lot of steps, as we kind of mentioned earlier, in online course creation, but it's about managing your time and managing your energy and being very strategic about doing that. So you get the courses launched and you are able to grow and scale your business with ease. You can join Call to Serve with easy access for as little as $97 a month. Let me come back on camera. You can join for as little as $97 a month for just 12 months. It's an investment in your future that you don't want to miss. So if you are ready to join, did I get the right? Let me see. Yeah, that one. There you go. Now you can see it. So if you are ready to join, I have a special offer for aspiring coaches and course creators. If you're ready to transform your passion into a thriving online course or coaching program, I invite you to join me in Call to Serve. Again, it's my signature course launch system, your comprehensive guide to transforming your expertise into a profitable and sustainable online course or coaching business. For just $97 a month for 12 months, you're going to gain access to expert strategies for online course creation, step-by-step guidance to launch and market your program or your online course, personalized coaching to ensure your success every step along the way, and a community of like-minded entrepreneurs just like you that are on their course creation journey to really truly build legacy businesses. As a token of my appreciation for attending this training, I'm going to drop the Time Management Mastery Action Guide. This is your gift, absolutely free. This guide is packed with actionable strategies that we've talked about today to help you efficiently and effectively manage your time, boost your productivity, and accelerate your income as an online course creator and coach. So go ahead and click the link that's down below this video and go ahead and grab that. And also, I invite you to join our community on Facebook, the Facebook community, the Course Creator Collective, and join us over there. So thanks again. Well, thanks once again for joining me. I'm excited to see where you go with your new skills and where they're going to take you and how you're going to enhance your business and your personal growth. Remember, effective time management isn't just about getting more done. It's about creating more space for what truly matters in your life and in work. So to your success and beyond, take these lessons that you've learned so far, tune in to part 2 and part 3 that is coming soon, and be able to transform your business and your days into more productive, fulfilling, and balanced experiences. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you all soon. Bye for now.